Welcome to Sisters Before Blisters, Chafing the Dream. Hi, I'm Cheryl.
I'm Christine.
And I'm Colleen.
We're three sisters living in three different countries who thought it would be a brilliant idea to sign up for a 70.3 Ironman triathlon as a relay team.
That's 1.2 miles of swimming, 56 miles of biking, and a half marathon, combined as a team, which sounds totally doable until you remember none of us are spring chickens anymore.
We're documenting every painful, hilarious, inspiring moment of our 13-month journey from what have we done to race day glory, or a complete disaster.
Expect training mishaps, sister drama, expert advice, and proof that the best terrible decisions are made with family. Let's do this. Have you heard any feedback from former competitors about like transition? Like, can I touch the bike before Christine gets to me? Do I have to meet Christine at a certain spot and then go to my bike?
You're doing the transition at the bike, from what I was told.
Okay.
You cannot touch the bike unless you're wearing a helmet. That's pretty much a central transition rule for individual competitors as well. I mean, it's helmets on first, then you grab the bike and go.
Okay.
You can have your helmet on beforehand.
Yeah, I can have my helmet on already.
Yeah. And since you're not transitioning for a run or anything, for you, I'd be wearing cycling gear. I'd be wearing cycling shorts, a cycling shirt, gloves, helmet, glasses. Be ready to go.
Okay.
Me personally, I leave my shoes on the bike because I don't like running around in cycling shoes. But a lot of people will be running around with their cycling shoes.
Okay.
But yeah, as far as from what I've been told, it was at the bike. So.
And then Colleen has to meet me at the bike as well?
Colleen, you have to meet Colleen at the bike.
Well, I have to meet Colleen in the transition. Yeah,
Yeah.
At the bike. Okay, that's good to know. We weren't sure if there was a specific transition area outside, away from the racks, but if the rack is where we're supposed to be, then.
What I was told it was, now whether they're going to have the relays in a separate rack, that information I didn't have, which would make more sense to me because I don't want to be an individual competitor running through transition either with my bike or with my running shoes and having to run around people that are waiting in transition for their relay competitor.
Mm-hmm.
So that it would make more sense to me as a race organizer to have the relays on the side. The other thing is the relays, you get your number on your calf. They'll put your number or they'll put your age on your calf. They usually put an R on the other calf for relay.
Relay. Okay. That's good to know. So speaking about shoes and wearing your shoes, so I like the clip in. I think it's more efficient.
Yeah.
Is it a must? It's for listeners who may or may not have run an Ironman. Some people feel more comfortable not clipping in. What's the typical thing for Ironman?
What do you mean by you mean clipping in?
Into the bike. So you have your shoes into your
Yeah.
cleats go right into your bike, so you
Yes.
can use your power both pulling
but
and pushing.
you're
But some
saying-
people feel a little uncomfortable about that. So are there alternatives?
Not good ones.
Okay, good.
Not good. I mean, when I was starting cycling in college, we didn't have we were just starting to come out with the Look pedal, which was the ski binder that you could unclip with. We physically had a toe clip and a strap. So we put our shoe in and it had a little cleat on the bottom that just kept the foot from moving back and forth. And then we had a strap, we reached down and that strap went over your foot. And so, getting out of that at an intersection or something like that wasn't good. That's how we all learned how to track stand a bike at a stoplight. So these are, what you have now is a lot safer, a lot easier to work with. And you can adjust the tension on it, how easily you want them to come out of the shoe or come out of the pedal. I see people just using running shoes on a flat pedal. Highly inefficient because the shoe bends. A cycling shoe is very stiff, so that because all your power is coming from your ankle, but it's going to the pedal over here. You want that shoe to be stiff so all that power goes through it. Otherwise, you're just bending this. And
very inefficient.
Very inefficient and also, kind of harmful to your foot and your ankle. And you're
Absolutely.
bending in directions it doesn't want to go.
So if I unrack my bike, I have my timing chip, I'm on my way. You can't get on the bike right away. You have to go to a certain spot.
You have to, in this case, you're going to run out. If you looked at the maps, you will run out of transition, make 2 rights, and you'll be on the road. that where everybody's going by and you go past this road a couple times.
Mhm.
And then you will get past the mount line, and then you can get on the bike however you want, but you have a mount line there. Further down, there's a dismount line because downstream of that is where you exit the bike course and go back to transition.
Mm.
So you'll need to know where both of those are. And that's, again, you have officials watching to make sure you're not mounting too early or dismounting too late. Basically, I like to have 2 feet on the ground after that mount line. So I can say, no, we're good here. And then for me, I do the flying squirrels. We called it jumping on the bike and just moving. I'll slide into my shoes on my way.
So yeah, I was going to ask you about that. So I know that for a lot of pros and a lot of serious triathletes that are moving, they'll get to the mountain line, they jump on the bike, but they're running in their bare feet up to that point, and then they use rubber bands. Is that my understanding?
You use rubber bands to hold the pedals. Actually, you're holding the pedals like this.
So you can put your feet in
You put
while
your
you're going.
you put your feet on top of the pedals, get moving, and then slide your feet in one at a time as you're already moving. So you're minimizing how much time you stop. Now, a lot of longer distance triathletes don't do that. I mean, they still stop the bike, throw a leg over, clip in and start going, which is perfectly fine. Just don't do it in the middle of the aisle. Do it over on the side.
Yes,
and give people
absolutely.
behind your room. And then when you start, don't start weaving all over the place, go out straight. Again, it's the predictability of the people behind you, because you don't want to have somebody cutting around in front of you as you're trying to do the same thing.
Absolutely. I think one of my bigger concerns is not necessarily, I don't think I need to do the rubber band, and I don't think I need to be super fast.
You don't need to do that.
But one of my concerns is that my cleats they're soft. So if you're walking on cement or running on cement, you're deforming the cleat so that it doesn't stick into the
Yes.
the pedal as well. So
I never liked running in cycling shoes. One, because they'll damage the cleat, but two, you have no grip. They're going to fall on your butt. And you're putting your foot at a different angle. There's a lot of wrong going on there.
a lot of wrong, yes.
And I know, like Ironman Wisconsin, when I did that race a few times, they wanted us to have our shoes and our helmets in our transition bags, which to me was like, this is like pain in the butt. And then expected me to run out and run around the parking garage to go find my bike, and then with my in my cycling shoes, and like I said, potentially damaging cleats and falling on my butt, things like that. So I carried them. I carried my shoes with me, ran up to the bike, clipped them in, and then ran out of sight, still in my socks, ran out of transition with my shoes on the bike. Hey, I did what they wanted me to do. I'm just not wearing them. And then as I rolled out of transition beyond the mount line, then I jumped into my shoes and went on. To me, that was safer.
Yeah, makes sense.
In your case, I don't think it'd be, I don't think the distance is long enough that you have to worry about damaging the cleats or anything on your way out. But if you're concerned about it, it's easier as you're coming in on the bike to slide your feet out of your shoes, put them on top of the shoe, on top of the shoes. As you come in, when you dismount, you throw your leg over, down. Now your shoes are on the bike, you're running in your socks. And that's one of the things I would teach our triathlon group with our beginner group, which I had 3 coaches, me being one of them. I'd be bringing people up from, running in their shoes to, okay, let's start transitioning and leaving the shoes on the bike, because it just saved space. Me and my co-coach, Ken, we would demonstrate these things that are, first off, we had a Monday night group that was just newbies, and 30 or 40 people, and we did a 12-week program to bring them up to doing sprint triathlons. And we'd have our transition racks and everything for our club out. And every week we were demonstrating something different as we were building up everybody's endurance and confidence. We would always end up have a transition race. He's going to do shoes on his feet. I'm doing shoes on the bike. And so we'd go run up from the lake, and he's in front of me, and he's putting his shoes on. I grab a helmet, throw glasses on, helmet on, and I'm gone. And not even close time-wise. And then coming back in, the same thing. He'd come in front of me, and and have to run in his shoes and take his shoes off. And I'm out of my shoes, do the transition, and again, I'm out much earlier than he is. Critical when you're doing short races, when you're doing sprints, Olympic super sprints, or now the super tri-fly. where it's swim, bike, run on a very short format, and then swim, bike, run again. So you get done with the run, put your cap and your goggles back on, go back in, do another swim.
Mm.
And it might be like a 250-meter swim, maybe 5-6K on a bike, and then a 2K run. And that's the hardest thing, is getting back in the water after running and cycling. You got all this blood in your legs and you're plowing through the water like this. And then you go through transition again, this time without the rubber bands on your shoes. And then they turn around and do it a third time. So you do each cycle 3 times. So
Oh, wow.
9 different disciplines. That's 8 transitions for a race that's probably going to take you about an hour. Transition time is critical.
Yikes.
Ironman, not so much. Relay Ironman, not so much.
Good to know.
You're not sitting down on a bucket and washing your feet and everything, but you just do what feels comfortable for you. Just don't do anything unpredictable.
Yeah. Or, yeah, we don't want to put anybody in danger, of course.
If you want to practice getting into shoes and getting out of shoes, do it on your trainer.
Mm. Speaking of my trainer, I think that you've mentioned to me that my poor bike, it's been on a trainer for quite some time.
Yeah.
Quite some time. So you mentioned that I might be destroying part of a gasket in the front fork. Is that
the bearings on the front fork?
the bearings? Okay.
What since I was also seemingly chief mechanic for my triathlon team, being that I come from a racing background, okay, now my race cars went from having 4 wheels to having 2 wheels. I would have people that would be on their bike all winter long with the wheel chocks that holds the front wheel at elevation, but also in a single place. So you can't turn it left or right.
Mm.
And you're on that for 3 or 4 months during the winter. You're pounding the bearings in that headset that holds the front fork onto the frame. You're pounding those bearings into one position, so that then time spring comes around, that doesn't turn very easily. It's like, and they get on the bike and try to ride outside anymore, and all of a sudden they can't ride straight.
Mm-hmm.
And they're thinking it's them. It's like, no, we gotta fix the bike. So every spring I'm changing headset bearings on somebody's bike because of those. That's why I say just put a flat 2x6 board or something like that, something you can allow the handlebars to turn. So you're not beating those bearings up in the same position the whole time.
I think you're gonna cry when you see my bike.
I'm gonna see your bike, am I?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you're gonna cry. I think not only do I probably have bearing issues, I crashed my bike a couple of times, and I think it's the frame. Maybe it's my trainer, but my frame might be bent. Oops.
We'll see what we have to deal with.
Yeah. This one's special to me. I've had it for a long time, and it's an older bike, but it's been good for me. So, but I think it's a little. There are a few things that are not quite right with it.
We'll go through it. Since you're training in the winter, do you have what we call a bike thong on it, which is the wrap that goes from the handlebars and comes down to the middle of the seat, and basically it's a towel to keep you from dripping all over the bike?
No.
Okay, might have to get you one.
I'm not a big sweater though.
Okay, yeah, because sweat is highly corrosive, particularly to aluminum.
Oh,
and I've seen frames fail because the bike was on the trainer for years and years and never wiped off, and it corroded the bottom bracket of the frame.
Huh. I did not know that.
Yeah.
As the sweater of the family, I should probably get this.
Colleen is the sweater of the family.
Hey, I wring mine out at the
I
end of
might
the
do
run.
that.
So that's why you're running. You don't have to
Yeah.
run. Yeah.
Yeah, but now I'm thinking I probably should get that for my bike. It's downstairs on the trainer right now. I should probably.
Trainers are very hard on bicycles because you're forcing the bike to do something it wasn't designed to do.
Mm.
You're holding it by the rear frame, and then you're twisting the crap out of it. You're dripping all over it, and you're trying to keep the front forks from moving, and you're bouncing on it constantly. They're hard on the bikes.
Mm.
What's your opinion on rollers?
You can't develop power with rollers. You can develop amazing balance skills. The most amazing thing I saw was a girl playing a violin while riding rollers. And it's like, wow. I mean, I never really graduated from riding rollers outside of a doorway.
Yeah, me neither.
Same.
So, but the thing is, unless you've got a resistance device on the rollers, which most do not, You
Right.
can't really develop power. You can develop technique and be very smooth with it, but you can't develop the power or do intervals or things like that,
Okay.
you know.
Makes sense.
Mhm.
Good question, Colleen. Excellent
Yeah,
question.
I do like that question. I was surprised you mentioned the rollers. I haven't been on my rollers in years. And
I
that's
sold
why I
mine.
fell off of them.
I wasn't using them enough, so I sold mine.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Ian sold his because he wasn't using enough. I think he traded him for a mountain bike. That's what he did. He traded, some guy wanted the rollers and he was like,
Mhm.
all right, give me that bike.
Yeah. A roller's great for, okay, it's a rest day or, it's just an easy day. And I just want to work on the smoothness, on pedaling 360 degrees, not just, okay, I'm going down with it, and
Yeah.
pedaling, as we call it, pedaling squares.
Mhm.
That makes sense.
Which case the bike's weaving around like this. You can tell the people who do that. You hear
Yeah.
woof, 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 woof out of the bike.
Yeah, hear him coming.
Yes,
Mhm.
you hear
Yikes.
them coming.
So Colleen and I were teeing a little bit a couple days ago because we were talking about nutrition on the bike, and
Mhm.
I was saying that I like
Oh,
to
yeah.
tape my goos to the frame.
Which is what I used to do, yeah.
But then Colleen was saying that she likes to stick her gummies. Like she uses
Okay.
spit again. Spit is Colleen's go-to. It's like her duct tape.
It's what other
Mom!
people told me to do. It's not, it's
Spit
not
and
like I just made it
sweat.
up.
But she uses her gummies and then sticks it right on the
Yeah.
frame. Like what do you suggest for
The
nutrition
gummies right on the frame. It's like your friends. It's like a Jeep with the ducks.
with the ducks?
No, it's like it's on the bar, the center bar. Yeah. You got, you got black cherry, you got fruit punch, you got lemon lime.
I've never used gummies for nutrition.
Oh, I can't do the goo. I
No.
cannot get the goo down without chugging water. So I found they're called blocks, or Cliff, I think, makes them as well, blocks.
Yeah.
And they're
Mhm.
just gummies.
Mhm.
And I mean, I've been able to use them. It's sugar, it's
Mhm.
sugar and gets it in my body, and it's quick and it's easy. And
Mhm.
I don't know. Somebody told me to
I would
try
just
it.
assume
And
there'd be a ton
it's
of
perfect.
dirt on it. Like
Yeah.
there's gonna
Yeah.
just be an accumulation of
Of
grossness.
road grime, yeah.
Well, and I
Yeah.
think that's, again, Cheryl and I laughed at it because I think that's where we differ as athletes.
That's how we
I don't
differ
mind
as
a little dirt.
humans.
I don't care.
If you insist on the gummies, they make what we used to call a bento box. Straps to the top tube right behind the headset. You flip
Okay.
it open and, I put my cell phone in there, maybe my car keys or something, and a couple gels, but you can put anything you want in there, just flip it open. Okay. You don't have to worry about them sticking to the top tube and flying all over the place.
I only lost one in that race. I'm just saying it worked.
Okay. Nutrition for me, I've evolved from the gels because I'm the same way. I don't like the gels. It's like you're getting the sugar buzz and then you're going down, then you're getting sugar buzz and you're not stable as an athlete and your stomach certainly isn't stable. I like having something much steadier. And the other thing is I don't want to count and figure out when I have to do what. What I would do is simplify my nutrition and put it all in one bottle. So I was using Hammer products, Heat or Perpetual,
Yeah.
and I would mix that in a bottle. And then since I needed my electrolytes, I would take their electrolyte capsules, open those up and break them in the bottles. And I, have a mixture for, okay, do I need a bottle that's going to last me 3 hours, 4 hours, an Ironman, 6 hours, whatever. And I would mix that up in very thick. And so that was something I could take a swig of, or if I had a front bottle on my time trial bike, pour some of that into the front bottle, get some water on course, pour that in, and that's my mixture. And then every 10 minutes, make sure I'm taking a sip from it. That way, I'm not figuring out when do I need to take nutrition, when do I need to drink, when do I need to take electrolytes, things like that. It was all packaged right there. I don't want to have to think during a race. I just want to execute. Yeah, I have contingencies for when things go wrong, but I don't want to have to think. And that was the easiest thing for me. So that's something both of you can play with is, is there a product out there that keeps your stomach happy and stable that you can mix in a bottle? And, I've seen people use a variety of different things and electrolytes. When I was doing Ironmans, I would have a 2-bottle belt that I would have my mixtures in each bottle that would go for about 6 miles, 6 or 7 miles. So maybe an hour. And I would have those dry. And T2, put my belt on at the first aid station, fill the first bottle up with water. Shake that up, nurse that bottle for 6 miles, 6 or 7 miles, whatever that, in a 2-lap race. Empty that, fill up the second one. I'm never carrying more than one full bottle at a time. Come through to the second lap, go to special needs, drop 2 bottles, pick up 2 more bottles, mix just the same. And it'd be the same mixture I was using on the bike. And that way I kept my nutrition very simple and very stable. But it was something I had to practice basically all summer long to figure out what worked for me.
Mm.
And trying different products. And that's the stuff you work with. Working with nutrition now probably going to help you very much because you're not doing long distance. You're not going to find out the ramifications. It's when you get into your real build phase that and you're outdoor a lot and you're dealing with the heat and the sweat and everything. That's when you're building up your nutrition.
Okay.
So you can try something like that, Colleen, instead of doing the gels.
Yeah.
I've seen people do, just again, a gel pack or a different type of gel or gummies or whatever. It's going to be the end of the day. It's going to be hot. It's not like you're starting a marathon at 7 a.m. You're starting a run at noon.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be hot.
Yeah, it's going to be hot.
Well, thankfully, everything that we're doing right now is pretty short. We're
Yeah.
not doing the nutrition
Yeah.
shouldn't be a problem for any of us, but it's good to know what the best practices are.
Yeah, I mean, nutrition right now, you're looking for short-term stuff. And nutrition's divided into, okay, here's something for a 1 hour, here's for 2 hour, and then you get into that 2.5, 3 hour block and beyond. It's a different type of nutrition. What works for that 1 or 2 hour, chances are doesn't work for that 3 or 4 hour, and vice versa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of contingency when things go wrong, so
Mhm.
if I were to have a flat tire on route, I'm the only one that can touch my bike, right?
They normally have a neutral bike service that can help, but it's where are they located, who are they dealing with? You might be sitting on the side of the road for an hour.
Ah, okay.
you
Well,
know,
at that
so-
point, I should be able to change it myself.
And you need to practice that and practice it on whatever tires we have, because sometimes some tires are much more difficult to get off of a wheel than others.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
Gotcha.
that's something to practice. Maybe we get together and we'll mount new tires on your bike anyways. So
Okay, great. Yeah, I need new slicks. They're pretty old. They're all cracked.
yeah, don't race on them. We'll
No.
change that in the spring.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Colleen, I'm gonna pass this on over to you because when we were talking about all these contingencies, and one of the contingencies that we were talking about was like toenails falling off.
So yeah, I've never, gosh, knock on wood, right? I've never lost a toenail for that reason. No, never. It was like a collision, like something dropped on my toe. I've never lost it running, soccer, anything like that. But
Christine, have you lost your toenail yet?
That one is still on, but I have lost others due to soccer and stuff
Okay.
like that.
Mhm.
I've lost a few.
Me
is
too.
that like normal? Is everybody lose? I don't know. Is that normal for racers?
When you get into marathon running, yes.
Okay.
And a lot of it has to do with how much space is in that front of that shoe that you have. Are you bumping up against the end of it, or do you have enough space for your toes to expand? You're seeing some shoe brands that are like, okay, we're gonna hold you tight in the heel because that's gonna set the profile for the shoe, but we're gonna be very expansive in the toe box. And Xterra Ultra is like that.
Ultra's good with that, yeah.
They're very good
I've
with
got
that.
those.
But
I love my Ultra.
yeah, most of the time I've seen is, from your toes basically bumping the end,
Okay.
the front of the interior of the box. I made a critical mistake one time where I was running marathon and I was concerned about blisters on my big toes. So I taped up my big toes so that I didn't get blisters underneath them. But what it did is it wiggled the toenails enough that I lost the toenails. And they never grew back properly. Both of my big toenails.
Oh,
And that was
wow.
15 years ago. They still haven't grown back properly. They've grown back, but it's like, there's one layered on top of another and stuff. It's not one single, toenail. But that was my mistake. By trying to prevent one thing, I created a different issue.
Okay.
A lot of marathoners body glide or Vaseline in between your toes, the end of your toes, things of that sort, just so you have room. Things aren't rubbing each other. When you trim your toenails, give yourself a pedicure, file all the edges of your toenails. because a lot of times it's the edge of one toenail here cutting into this toe there,
Okay.
cutting in the
Yeah.
next tail. So you cut that toe and you get a bloody toenail or a bloody toe.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I've had that happen a few times. So it's like, yeah, okay, we trim them. Now get out the file and be the girl and clean them all up, make them look pretty.
I remember we had a cross country coach in high school that had, and I still to this day have no idea what it was. It had no label on it. It came in a clear, like it looked like a film canister with a black cap on it, and he called it slime, and it was blister prevention something. I have no idea what it was, but it worked. And to this day, I've never seen it again in my life. I don't know if he made it in his basement. I don't know.
Body Glide works fine for that.
We'll use that.
Yeah, just remember, friends don't let friends share Body Glide.
Oh.
We all get our own tube. Got it. I'll get your own stick and your own tube.
Yeah, because you're all putting it in your own places. Yes.
Yuck.
And all three of you are going to need Body Glide in different places.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the other nice thing for Colleen doing the run. You can wear running shorts. You don't have to wear, a triathlon short or a compression short or something.
Which is always sucks to running because you feel like you're wearing like a diaper because of the padding and yeah.
Particularly if it's a full cycling short rather than a tri short. So you can dress as a runner.
Yay.
Cheryl, you can dress as a cyclist.
Yay.
Christine, she's going to be all bundled up in a wetsuit.
Good.
That'll be good. All right. Question, Gary, what is your go-to running shoe?
That depends on what I'm dealing with at the time. What I was working with when I first started doing Ironmans, I had a knee injury. I took a softball line drive into the side of my left knee, and I was the pitcher at the time. One of those sizzlers that neither action's fast enough. You didn't get the glove down fast enough, didn't get the knee out of the way fast enough, and it damaged some ligaments in my knee, and so my knee would bend this way when I would run, and it just hurt like hell. So we tried orthotics to correct that until I can build my knee strength back up. And so everything I knew about running shoes at that point changed going to an orthotic, because instead of having a mild stability shoe with a slight cant in it and a couple other features, no, I need something that's a neutral flat bottom, very deep heel cup, something that you could fit an orthotic into. And at the time, that turned out to be a New Balance 1080. It was like when I first tried one on, it's like I stood up and the light bulb went on. It's like, oh, that's what it feels like to be in alignment. I went through 9 pairs of those. But what I didn't like about it is with the orthotic, I lost a lot of the energy return. It just didn't have a bounce. And eventually I progressed enough that I didn't need those. And I went to a brand called Newton. Newton, was a 5-finger that it was basically designed for a midfoot strike. There was hardly anything in the heel. Everything was right under your metatarsals right here. There would be 5 rebound strips with a, basically it had a lot of spring, a lot of rebound, but you couldn't be a heel striker. You had to be a midfoot striker. And I had worked myself when I was in college up to going from a heel striker to being a midfoot striker. So you have to have that sort of stride for those shoes. And that's what I went to in majority of my triathlons. And right now I'm using an Asics Nimbus 27, which is a very cushioned shoe. So again, neutral stability. So I'm not canted either way. So no stability at all. It's a very neutral shoe, but I've got a lot of cushioning for that midfoot and a roll. So like I said, my stride has changed. I can jump back into the Newtons without a problem, but nobody makes Newtons anymore. Newtons was a real big shoe about 10 years ago if you had the right stride for it. Now I don't see anybody marketing Newtons.
Gotcha.
So the shoes are so personal. I know a friend of mine who's also a mom of 10-year-old twins. She just did Chicago, and she bought a pair of the super shoes with the carbon plate. And she also tried the highly caffeinated Martens gels, which is what's going to be on the course at the Ironman. And she crushed it with a 304.
Wow.
At age 48. So, and
Goal.
she gave it all to the super shoes. She goes like, these shoes are amazing, that they just had so much rebound and so much energy return for her. She said I just flew in them. I just felt so comfortable the entire time.
Nice.
Something you
But
should look
Okay.
into, Colleen. That'd be
yeah,
good.
Yeah.
Especially with former injuries, knees.
what I'm seeing out of Asics, what I'm seeing out of New Balance, some of the Nikes, those high platform shoes tend to be working for a lot of people. So much so that Ironman rulebook says, hey, those shoes can only be so high.
Mm.
They did put a restriction on shoe height and the drop height.
Okay. Yeah.
So what are you running in now?
Right now I went to a running store and tried to find a pair to fit me after having Elliot because I've, like Cheryl said, very knees that have been beaten up for years with soccer and running. And so I needed something to support the knees, but I feel better in a more minimalist shoe because I feel lighter and I just feel more comfortable in that, being able to move. So I didn't want anything big and bulky. And so right now I'm actually in a Saucony shoe and it's a little bit thicker, but it's doesn't have a high lift, so it's pretty neutral as far as that goes, but it's, neutral all the way through. So it has a good cushion, but it's neutral all the way through. And my knees don't hurt when I run. The only problem is that if the shoes get wet, one squeaks.
Yes. Shoes are never the same after they get wet. Never.
I did. But my knees don't hurt and I can run for, longer than a mile or two and feel very comfortable. And yeah, so that's what I have right now. But I might go back to the ultras because I ran a lot in those and they felt really comfortable with the wider toe box. So
yeah, the ultras didn't work for me, but for a different reason. Both those and Hoka's have their arch support in a different place than my arch physically is in my foot.
yes.
Yeah, so I end up with blisters in the wrong place.
Same. I have, so my left foot is a half size smaller than my right foot, a full half size. And so I can never, unless I get two different shoes, the arch, if it's a high arch, I can feel it every single time in either one or the other, and it's not comfortable. So yeah,
I've never seen it with a full half size.
Full half size difference.
You've been like that since you were just a infant. Yeah, I remember Mom at one point, I think soccer shoes, she bought 2 pairs for you so you could have like matching
A full pair.
Yeah, full pair that fit you.
So Cheryl, was that like you holding her up like by one foot as a child?
Just one toe.
Yeah.
One toe giving her a swirly.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, well.
Colleen, any other good questions on the running side?
Not about the swirly. No, I mean, those were kind of the big ones. I think we've answered everything. Yeah.
Okay, good. So we have a couple questions from our Blister crew, or our people who are listening out there. And one of the questions that came up was, what is something about triathlon training that sounded easy, but is actually terrible? Christine, you want to take this one?
I feel like this question, I don't know if it applies because I'm only training one discipline.
Okay.
So
don't ever say only. Take that out of your vocabulary. You're training one discipline.
Well, I mean, like that's the end result is the one discipline. So like I am still running. I do still get the bike out, but my focus is the one discipline. I think because we started like such a long time ago, so we've had like almost a whole year. I'm thinking it's just the keep on going. Like I like to have a goal and have an end thing that we're aiming for, but just to keep pushing for a whole year is a long-term goal. And I think that's challenging, especially with, the weekly things that come up, here and there, like my daughter's knocking on the window right now. She wants some water. I know. So I think it's just keep going for a year. I think is a long time to train, at least for me.
Colleen, how about you?
I have 2. So one is any kind of training with children. And in my mind, I thought, oh, just put him in the running stroller and go for a run. That's going to be the easiest thing for me to do. It's not. My 3-year-old does not want to sit in the stroller anymore. He wants to ride his bike. He wants to walk. He wants a snack. So I think this is going to be more of a challenge than I thought in that aspect. And I would say the other one is definitely just doing putting the time in. And doing this, so like when we do start to get into the point where it's like, okay, now we have to start training the longer miles in our modality, in our discipline, doing one thing for that amount of time, it just is dull to me. It's boring. So I think that's like just keeping focused, doing one thing over and over and over again.
I think that's the same for me as the monotony. In theory, I want to love it. And in reality, as I'm on the bike in the basement, staring at the same wall, going, oh my God, I can't believe I'm the one that asked us all to do this. And I can't quit now because I'm the one that decided that we should do this.
Yeah. It's fun to get a barbell out and like row and run and, do some cleans and do some front squats. But now all you get to do is run.
No. Don't look at it that way. You should still be doing all those other things. Just
I
the
do.
run is gonna be your focus later.
Yes. Yeah.
Cheryl, I got a proposal for you on that trainer.
Okay.
You have a laptop you can put in front of it.
Yep.
Does that laptop play CDs or DVDs?
No, they
No.
don't have those anymore. You have to like specially buy them, and yeah,
My old
everything's-
computer does.
yeah.
You need a DVD player because have you heard of something called spinnervals?
Yes, I have. Yes,
Okay, you got
Yeah.
any?
we do actually have some.
That's
find that-
what I would be doing once a week.
Okay, I find them
That's
boring.
what I'm doing. Yeah, you don't believe me? Just
I
saw
find them
this
boring.
Yeah. See?
Oh yeah, there you go. There
More
you go.
props.
More props.
But the thing is, it makes the time on the bike go so much faster. One of the things that we would do over the winter for tri training is I would do spin classes. We would log into a group on Zwift, so we'd have our own group. This would be all my triathlon peeps, and I'm calling a spin class for 45 minutes to an hour on our trainers. It made the time go by so much faster. It's probably more the human contact than anything else. You end up falling in love with the process because you fall in love with the people.
Yeah.
And
I think that's true for not just triathlon or cycling or running, but I think that's true for just human nature in general, whether it be playing video games or playing soccer or going to class at a college and physically being in the classroom with other people. I think that's so needed. I think that in the COVID era, we got away from it. And I think people are really, really craving that right now. Is that human connection and the community.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why Christine and Colleen and I decided that we needed to stay in contact and do this podcast and show our faces and be in the same Zoom room if we can't be in a physical room together and have community, because it's so important to keep that connection.
Yeah, but you feel very antisocial when you're in the basement by yourself in the garage on a trainer.
Yeah.
So do I.
Yeah.
Christine's going to feel the same way sitting in a pool lane, if she's not swimming with anybody else with the team. That's the sucky part of endurance sports, that at some point in time it becomes individual. But the secret to getting through it, and it's been that way for me, is whether I was doing marathons, triathlons, or whatever, auto racing, it was being with people. It was doing it with friends and having a ball. And that's what made showing up that much more fun. Just you're with friends. Regardless of what we're doing, we're with friends.
Absolutely.
So that's I don't know how to fix that for you right now. I'd love to.
Well, it's something that we get to work through. We still have months of training in front of us, so we're good. So I have another question from our Blister crew, and it's about sports bras. So Gary, you may not have any insight on this one.
Oh, I got some man boobs here working.
So how many sports bras did you go through finding for one that will work for training? Colleen, you want to go for this one? I think this probably affects you the most right now, having a baby.
Yeah, I've gone through so many because when you breastfeed and have children, your body changes incredibly so. Just it's insane the amount of changes and what fits and what doesn't. So I'm currently on the hunt for, I'm hoping there's one in my drawer, honestly, because I have so many. I'm really hoping that there's one in my drawer that I can fit. There's so many that fit in one place and not the other. And so I'm on the search in my own drawer at the moment for the one that's gonna work. I have one that's pretty good, that's really, really close, that I would probably wear for the race. But I would like probably another one that just had a little bit more comfort to it. So I'm close, but it's a never ending battle. And hopefully I'm to the point where this will be the fit for a while.
Well, I'm
So-
curious, being a guy, but knowing that you're a breastfeeding mom, does that change during the course of the day as you're building and feeding and building and feeding?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Because you can become more engorged. And then, especially if you're doing like a long training or like I was playing soccer while I was breastfeeding and throughout the game, I'm not able to pump or feed or anything like that. So by the end of the game, that sports bra is getting a little tight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Christine,
yeah.
have you found one? I know you mentioned that you had one that you absolutely love, but is that one, I mean, you're not gonna, I mean, what's your plan for swimming? To have a sports bra or
I
a bathing suit?
I was just gonna have the bathing suit that I am wearing for training underneath the wetsuit. But for sports bras, I have found SheFit. I like it because I can strap those suckers down and they are not bouncing anywhere. And it's one less distraction while I'm running. It doesn't hurt. The only drawback is that once I'm done exercising, I need to loosen them and I sometimes forget. And so then it starts to irritate like my neck muscles and my back muscles and stuff like that. So they're not necessarily for me an all day bra, but definitely for when I do my runs and anything that's going to have any type of bouncing going on.
Excellent. Yeah. I think I'm still on the hunt for one that's going to work for race day. For training, I have a couple of Under Armour bras that are working. They're not great. I don't love them. They're not super supportive. And if I run, I need to wear a different bra because these ones are not good for bouncing in any way.
Going back to when I started this whole escapade in the mid 80s when I was in college, I had a few female friends of mine that, since you didn't have sports bras really back then, they'd be wearing 2 or 3 bras
Yeah.
just to be on top of each other just to go out for a run.
Yeah.
And you sound
Absolutely.
like you look like you had the same problem.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. I think all of us have had issues and all of our teammates have had issues.
Teammates.
Like multiple bras is not uncommon.
Well, and then you got to be
Happens a
careful
lot.
that you don't get the uniboob.
The dreaded uniboob.
I've had some teammates where they have the uniboob and like as they're bouncing, as they're running, you can see it like almost hitting their chin, like
Yeah. Yeah.
get knocked out.
Yeah.
I would be more concerned, with Cheryl when you're wearing your football pads.
Oh, your football pads are nice and everything's strapped down. Everything's like flat. You're tight. You gotta like breathe through your pads because you like strap them down as hard as you can on your ribs. And you get them strapped down on your shoulders, and then you'll see, at least when I played, I don't see it happen too often on like NFL sidelines or the college sidelines anymore because the kids are like, oh, pads, we don't need pads. But when I played, pads were a thing. But you see people hitting each other down. So you try to like hit the pads down as hard as you could, and then sometimes you would have like one person hold the pads down on the player, and then you have another person like tighten everything down so that so nothing moved.
And then you breathe somehow.
Then you try to breathe. Yeah.
Christine,
I'll stick with shin
don't-
guards. Thanks.
Christine, do not
Yes.
allow Cheryl to help you put your wetsuit on.
Oh, no. Nope. She'll try to do something not so nice to me, I think. She'll put like a frog down the back of it or
No,
something.
no. I might have you like suck in your gut and like pull your boobs in, and so I can like.
Mhm.
I'll help you,
Sure.
Christine. No,
I don't know if I can trust you either.
I just need a stool to reach, but I got it. I got it.
Oh, goodness. Colleen, you want
Right.
to hit us with the mood meter?
Oh, one word or one phrase to describe the month. Let's see. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna have to like it's gonna be something like grit or like dig in or something. Like just get it done. Is kind of where I'm at. I'm having a hard time finding time, having a hard time finding motivation, but I like strength training and thankfully that's what I can get into right now and feel good about it and not worry about, getting the miles in just yet. So I think it's just, yeah, that's where I'm at. Dig in.
Dig in. Colleen or Christine, sorry.
I don't know. It's been extremely busy. And so finding the time again is hard, just like Colleen said. But I have had a couple of friends that have had some interest in one friend that did start exercising with me and training with me. So it's more fun with friends. I don't know.
Mhm.
More fun with friends. I like that.
It's
Yeah.
more fun with friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think
Cheryl?
for me, I think it's Colleen, kind of like you said, like a little bit of grit. You got to just kind of mentally get your head wrapped around it. I think what I'm gonna try to put a positive spin on it though, because I'm looking forward to this rowing challenge and I hope other people participate. So I think my word is going to be competition. And
Oh,
I
okay.
want to just think about it as a small step in the bigger staircase. And I'm going to try to show up for the rowing as best as I can.
Okay.
Gary, do you
Gary,
have
how
a
about
word or a phrase for us? Sorry, Colleen.
no, go ahead.
Since you are sisters before blisters, in honor of you, Friday I was wearing a new to me pair of boots. And in the course of shopping, I really tore up my heels. And so I could not run yesterday with my run group. I could not walk this morning with them, which is why I was in the pool. So I have some very big, very deep blisters in honor of the three of you.
Thanks for thinking of us.
It reminds me with every step.
Our faces just flash.
Yes. Yeah. Ow, ow, ow. Yeah.
Colleen, you have a question for us?
Yeah. What's a creative way that you stay connected, like with your friends and family when you're far, far away and distance and traveling and away at races and things like that? How do you stay connected?
So
God,
that's a question for all of our listeners to comment?
Yes. Listeners, anybody who's listening, how do you guys do it? How do you stay connected? Is it through athletics? Is it through something else creative that you and your family do? Or I don't know, just curious.
with me and my siblings, it's a Friday night video call. So
Nice.
we're staring at each other every Friday, which started with my mom always calling her best friend. And then my sister would be calling my mom every Friday night. And then we lost mom. So my sister didn't have anybody to call. So she called us. So that's how we stay in touch individually. And,
That's amazing. That's
yeah.
good. Community is so important. Being part of
Mhm.
something is so incredibly good for the soul. So that's going to wrap up our Sisters Before Blisters episode this time around. And today was a really good reminder that the details actually do matter.
Yes.
And we want to say a big thanks to Gary for showing up and explaining all the things and hanging out with us and laughing with us. So next episode, we are going to talk about goal setting for 2026, the three sisters. I don't think we're planning on having a guest next time, but we are going to definitely hit those goals pretty hard. And just a reminder for anybody who's listening, you can search for us or find us anywhere you find your podcasts, whether that be Apple or Spotify or wherever. We should be everywhere. So just search Sisters Before Blisters. And until then, keep training smart, laugh when it hurts, and remember, progress isn't always loud. So just keep showing up. That's it for this time. See you next time.
Bye. Bye.
That's it for Sisters Before Blisters. If you've enjoyed hanging out with us, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And drop us a comment with what resonated with you today. Also, share this with someone who needs a push to try something new. There's nothing like trying something completely out of your comfort zone to remind you what you're made of. Until next time, keep chafing the dream.